just a sec.
Crop all this over. Start from top.
Cut.
Welcome to Real Talk Sundays, the podcast for the people by the people.
Because some people can smoke weed.
Some people get too high before a podcast recording or during. I'm your host, Amanda.
And I'm Val.
This is the co-host with the most, Val. We also have a very, very special guest with us today, but we'll get into that in a second.
You can see her, but you can't hear her yet.
We're not ready for your introduction yet. This episode, we're talking about all things 420.
But before we talk about that, we'd love to talk about the event.
Yes, we'd love to talk about the event that everybody's invited to, okay? We are
Come on down, bring your friends, bring your parents, bring your
mama, bring your husbands, bring your wives. It is.
You want a throuple? It's okay.
It's okay. You're welcome here. Okay, everyone. There's a unicorn to be found. Okay. It is our Black Friday podcast party, and we are throwing it in Boise off of Orchard.
Yes, New Colony Beer Co. Starting
Beer
at
Co.
7 o'clock till we close that place down. So
Yes.
come on down.
So if you're in town, you're in Boise,
you're in
Meridian,
town for
Kuna,
Thanksgiving, come see us.
come on down. Yeah, come on down. It's gonna 7 till we shut it down. Good. We have a great DJ
Oh.
Jolly.
Mhm.
Meow, meow, meow. Playing all the RTS music that
Yes.
has been curated by B. Just a bunch of wonderful people. All of the RTS community will be there and some others. But yeah, we're just inviting a bunch of our close friends. So if you're listening right fucking now, thank you so much for your listen. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we would love to actually meet you. And the best part is it's a pop-up podcast. So we're going to pop up a podcast in the back of the bar.
Yeah, we're not going to be talking. People ask us. They think we're doing a podcast.
Oh, like on the
Yeah,
stage.
But
No.
that's not what's happening. Maybe
No.
one day, maybe,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm good.
not really,
Not right
but
now.
no, I'm just saying like
Yeah.
in the future, maybe you never know, but no, it's interview style with specific people that we've chosen and random people that come in. So if you want to be on it, show up.
Yeah, we got raffles and giveaways. We got a bunch of sponsors to just give us fucking free shit to give to our listeners.
Yeah.
And bringing up local business, dude. Putting New Colony Beer on the map and just having a fun place to get content with our friends and get good interviews. So we're excited for that.
Do you want to mention the sponsors that we have?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have Alex's Clay Bling. She's making earrings, and she's going to be making earrings for us specifically to
We're
wear
gonna
that
rock the
night.
shit out of those.
And then we have the Perking Spot,
Yes.
coffee spot in Nampa.
The New Colony Beer Company is
Yeah.
also sponsoring a little giveaway, a gift cards basket.
Brilliant Aesthetics. Thank you.
Yes.
Free dermaplane coming up.
Yes. RTS sponsored
Yeah.
a man basket.
Yes.
It's
Because we
gonna
got
have
to
a bunch of-
support the
we
men,
love
you
our
know.
money stuff. And then we got like Kush cards and the other coffee company. I can't remember. Oh no.
Oh no, it's okay. Another coffee
company.
And then yeah.
And yeah, so very excited. And a 420 inspired basket from like Kush cards. And my boy Quincy gave us a bunch of yummy stuff for that. So yeah, you get a free raffle. We're gonna give away free shit all fucking night and give out wonderful hard cider and gluten-free beer and regular beer. It's a vibe ass place. So come on down and
Yes.
we'll see you there. And now back to our special guest. This person you've heard about a lot by proxy. This person need no introduction, but we're going to give her fucking one. This person is Kayla.
Good to be back.
It's good to be here. Good to be present.
Oh yeah,
Been
she was
on-
in the
Been on
Yeah,
one before. It's good to be
relationship.
back. It's good to be back.
Dude,
That was a
that's
good
right.
one.
That
When
was
she
a
just
good
listed
one.
those red flags. Huh?
Yeah.
I'm
And we
never
all
gonna
had
get over
them.
there.
I don't know if
I'm
we're gonna
never
go
gonna
there,
get
babe.
over that, honestly.
Oh,
It's
that was
okay.
such a
You
good
had a couple,
episode.
too.
That was literally what people said. They're like, those red flags, though. That was
I hate when I find out I'm not perfect too. That
I know.
sucks.
It was stupid.
Isn't that hard to take?
It's
God,
just stupid. It
humble
was
pie
like
tastes like dicks.
it does, and it was just like
It's a terrible dessert. I don't know why they
It
call
Like
it
there was
pie.
no hesitation on those red flags for me. Like she had that shit planned, you know.
No.
Like
Well,
me,
we
I
did-
had to be like,
well,
We
you-
did send out the questions
I know,
ahead of time.
but
I was
literally
like,
had to be
dang, making me sound
let me
bad.
think.
You're perfect. I love you. Well, I have 6 red flags, actually. I've been meaning to talk about this on air.
I think mine are more yellow flags. You know what I mean?
Like a beige
Yeah,
kind of
it's
flag.
kind of what I was thinking. Huh.
It's like,
But how long have you guys been together? Like
7
4
years.
7 years.
7
They've been
years.
together 7 years. and engaged for
Obviously,
how many
the red
months now?
flags didn't fucking matter.
They didn't phase because they're fucking engaged and we're
Yeah.
getting ready for this. And I'm so excited to marry you guys.
How many days are away?
208. I already checked
208
it.
days. till we get married.
208 days till you
Yeah.
get married. Till I marry you guys.
I know.
Oh my god.
I'm excited.
This is kind of like a thing. This is like a foreshadow. Oh, I'm so excited.
You're in the middle.
I know. And the,
You can go ahead. I am fucking ordained.
please.
I'm so excited. I have everything. I have like 3 fucking speeches that night. Just fucking locked.
Checked
Let's
in.
go. I'm gonna marry the
208
shit out y'all.
Days, man.
So meanwhile, back at the weed ranch. This episode,
Weed farm, I think they're
Weed
called.
Farm.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back at the growers convention. This
Vegas.
episode is all about weed. We're not going to use the word marijuana. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But weed, kush, green. Let's do the game. Everyone say the word.
Oh no, we go around and whoever can't think of one loses.
Lights up this fucking
Okay,
day. Go.
Okay. Kush,
Herb.
Perp.
Mary Jane.
Sticky icky. Yeah, that was wicked.
I can't think of anything. I'm
THC,
stoned.
tree, cannabis. Fucking, I don't know. We could have gone for a minute. That's all right. Light it up. We don't
I
need
just
a
wanted
reason.
to light it
We
up.
don't need a reason.
I just wanted to light it
to
up.
light it up. But what prompted this subject was that we were all joking about the trending topic of fucking Snoop Dogg and him saying that he is quitting the smoke.
Yeah, I was like, I saw that. I mean, I don't have Twitter, but like people post on
Twitter, yeah.
Instagram, you know, and I'm just like, that can't be real because that's his brand, but he'll just rebrand. I don't know.
Dude,
I just think,
can we take a moment to really, really, truly give respect of this marketing ploy? Like how fast everyone shared, tweeted, retweeted, like trending. That guy was number 3 on fucking Google.
on
Like
Google,
Like it was like the one of the thing that popped up. I was like, holy shit. Very brilliant marketing. I think it's a brilliant move. And at first, because I had no context of what the fuck was going on, I believed it.
yeah.
Like a fool.
Well, we were trying to think of why he really would stop smoking. He'd be like, does he have a lung problem?
yeah,
Does he
throat
have-
cancer, bro.
That would be like the only reason. There's no way. Like, how could you even sing your songs anymore? I don't know. It would just not
Anyways.
be right.
Yeah, change the band, but we think it's to push his new fucking edibles line.
It makes sense because if you really look into it, because he posted it on Instagram, I don't know, before Twitter or whatever that time frame was, but I follow him on Instagram and I saw when he posted it and it's just a picture of him and he's like, I quit the smoke. And you're like, okay, like,
Oh, that doesn't
you-
mean I quit weed.
like,
or
I think he's
THC
saying like,
or-
maybe I
fucking-
don't smoke joints anymore or like blunts anymore, but I think he's going to push hard his
Such a
gummy
good
line.
marketing
He's got
ploy,
people
dude.
just thinking right
Fuck
now.
yeah. I would absolutely I'm wheeling. That was just brilliant. I saw it like 2 million like
Wow.
likes. So it's a matter of just it being fantastic.
Mhm.
But weed goes way back. Weed's an old school drug. Weed's an original. Weed's an OG. But
What year did weed start?
1801. No. 2,500 years ago.
Oh yeah, what year was that?
Oh, the year was full school and 7 years ago.
35.
Oh no, it was like OG. 500 BCE.
Oh, 500 BCE.
We're talking
Before
like
Christ originate or before Christ energy.
like early ritual cannabis smoking, right? In the Eastern Pamirs by 2,500 years ago. But it goes fucking way back, especially because we'll even talk about hemp production here, but China, that should go with that. Been smoking that good for a while, but they're
I don't
also
think you can say like
is that fucking okay. We learn here, okay? Take an opportunity. I'm
someone
so sorry.
that's so woke is pretty racist.
Well,
I mean, you're not racist, but you say some racist shit.
So I'm so sorry. And the important thing is I'm open to being called out and corrected because I'm so ignorant sometimes, but not willfully.
Not maliciously.
Not maliciously.
Nope. Just
Sometimes-
fucking stoner.
Sometimes I'm a fucking dumbass stoner and I say shit and I shouldn't. And for a long time.
So the people of China.
So the people of China have been smoking weed for a fucking minute, okay? And they're actually the #1 exporter of hemp. Hemp.
Wait, can you tell us what the difference of hemp and cannabis is?
Yes. I fucking can, Val. In fact, it's a 0.3% difference of level of THC. Okay. So here the thing is, the hemp plant and the where you derive THC and CBD, right? It's all from, and cannabis is what, what you smoke to get high, are all from the same plant, but there's just different types of different types of plants. So the differentiation is 0.3% of THC. Now, hemp does have THC, but it's so little it can't get you high. It's not mind altering. Whereas the cannabis that is THC, you can also extract CBD from. And but it has a bunch of thousands of hundreds of cannabinoids. And CBD and THC are really just the two people talk about the most. But it's an arbitrary number that some fucking guy pulled out of his ass who wrote a book back in the fucking 70s. And he agrees that's also an arbitrary number. It doesn't fucking make any sense. But the DEA basically found that as enough evidence to basically say, okay, this shit's dangerous. We can't just have a bunch of farmers growing fucking cannabis. Yeah. And it's like, no, cannabis is what you smoke. Hemp is what we want to use, make out of plastics, ropes, fucking, there's nutrition, there's food made out of it. Like everything is made out of hemp. You can make bricks, build houses out of it. It's insane. And Henry Ford even he actually did make a fucking car out of plastic hemp, and it worked. But because the DEA cracked down on it so early on in in the early 20th century, and near Prohibition, they fucking cracked down on it. So we stopped manufacturing it, and farmers stopped really growing it. And so China superseded in the hemp market, and then Canada was also number 2 on large growing and manufacturing it. US is number 3, but only as of late have we been manufacturing a shit ton of hemp. And a lot of it's out of Oregon and different places. But then you have places like Southern Oregon who are getting all fucking in their assholes because their original exports like fruit and shit are now being superseded by hemp growth. But there's not enough manufacturers. So the thing is about hemp is it's so much better for our environment too. It's amazing for our environment. The way the plant grows maximizes photosynthesis. Maximizes photosynthesis. Is easier on the grass and soil than any other type of plant. Grows faster than cotton and other wheat bearing. Anyway, just nerd on out over it. Hemp is better all around, and we're not fucking using it because we didn't make enough room in the factories to manufacture it. But companies like Patagonia out of Colorado are really making a push since last year to go 100% US produced hemp for their clothing, which is great because clothes are made out of fucking oil. Did you know this?
No, I would not know that. But
petroleum, if your shirt or anything has any sort of flex, give, spandex, nylon, anything,
so
polyester.
Our Skims?
Yeah, bitch. I am fucking plastic on plastic on plastic. Fucking petroleum is what's used to make that type of fabric, to make fabric, to make the stretch in the fabric. The plastic is woven, and then every time you wash your fucking clothes, thousands and thousands of particles of microplastics seep into the fucking shit. It gets crazy. Hemp is a great alternative solution. And so is cotton, but it's so expensive to manufacture cotton than it is this. Fucking polyester is oil. And we're using oil, my man. We're using oil. So hemp would counter that. I digress.
But why wouldn't they use hemp if they're all worried about global warming and shit is my question.
Why? One more time.
How they're recycle, reuse, blah, 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 global warming and all these things. Why would we not use more hemp?
And the FBI don't go back on what they say.
Well, the DEA cock blocks.
Yeah.
This is the shit part, is the DEA fucking cock blocks, okay? Coming up here with this big swinging dick. And it's like, hey, you need to check all of your seeds before you sow them with the DEA, which no other seed or farm has to do for their crop. Only the ones that grow hemp. So they have an additional hurdle that they have to go through, closely monitored by that. And then once they do harvest all this fucking crop, there's not enough machine manufacturing sites to change it into what it needs to be. So they're fucking pigeonholed before and pigeonholed after. And it's making it very, very difficult. But now we have to influence it because our number one import's coming from China and our second's Canada. So we're like, well, fuck, we should probably start growing our own shit now. But that means we got to either make more plants to manufacture these, or we got to move into these other manufacturing spots, right? But yeah, dude, fucking weed. And not to mention, what do you know that's good about weed?
There's a lot of factors I think that are good about weed. You know, you can research it with studies that research it with mental health factors.
Yeah.
It's good for a lot of mental health. Like ADHD is a diagnosis I have.
For
and
sure.
I find a lot of times that it's the only thing that can help slow my mind. And
Yeah.
I'm super worked up or the day's just really stressful or something. I find that when I smoke, it helps calm down. And I think a lot of other people can find that.
It chills me the fuck out.
Yeah.
I get more creative. I get more fun.
Thank God, because you needed it today.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, there's just
My ADD got like completely different vibe than I was 30 minutes ago. Like,
a lot of health factors too that come along with weed too that a lot of people I think don't understand. Like,
yeah.
Can we say her name? I mean,
We'll bleep it.
Allowed to be in.
bleep it, but I mean she's had a pretty hard diagnosis that doctors don't understand why it hasn't grown, and the only thing that makes any sense for a certain time in her life was because she was smoking daily weeds.
Yeah.
And I think there are some health factors that are linked to weed that maybe a lot of people aren't seeing the statistics or the studies on.
Well, that's what originally started weed, right? That's what first paved the way for this whole legalizing was medicinal use.
Yep.
And it was, cancer patients to help with sleep, to help with pain management, to help with appetite, nausea. And then you have, you definitely have the basics of that, arthritis. It was just a really great pain management tool,
CBD
right?
for that
and
stuff
then,
too.
And now we go over to CBD extract, right? Which has no THC in it. Again, is another misconception.
Has a little bit. I thought
less than 0.3%.
I know.
You on a drug test though, like
minimum, not enough to get you legally high.
Oh, okay.
Because the difference is too is THC is an inhibitor, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is an inhibitor. Anyways, CBD is not. But yeah, you have this tincture, right? So that was stopping up seizures. That was fucking
people were
helping.
putting in their kids' mouths and stuff like the drops. Yeah, I remember people were putting in their coffee.
Yeah,
I've heard of that. Yeah, for
very
sure.
Very medicinal.
I've had a CBD pen before.
Yeah.
But it made my stomach hurt, so I didn't do it. It was one of the side effects. Did you know that?
Stomach aches.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more.
Like going to the bathroom.
It gives you not indigestion, but like fucking diarrhea.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. That's a warning
remember
label.
That?
That's a fucking warning
we
label.
Have to remember, I have a
and you might shit yourself.
Remember,
You're
I have a really sensitive stomach, so maybe other people it doesn't affect that.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say? Oh, how many states have weed legalized?
Oh my God. I feel like because Ohio just fucking passed their thing, I feel like my number's off. But you mean recreationally or like medicinally?
Well, I think recreationally is what I'm after.
Okay, I'm going to guess and then we have to look up the number.
Okay.
My guess is...
Don't you have it in your phone?
I do.
Okay,
I don't remember. 28. Recreationally.
Recreationally. I can't remember one number was 38 or 28. Yeah.
Okay. 24.
Oh, maybe medicinally is
and
28.
DC. Okay. 24 states and Washington, D.C.
What a joke. They have their own district.
Have their own district? What is this?
That's some shit.
The Vatican?
Don't ask me. Don't ask. So,
dude.
So, anyways,
you know.
So 24.
24
states out of
50 nifty United States.
So we still have.
We have a long way to go, gang. Here's the thing, too, is the benefits about
states that do not have it legalized.
Dude.
Idaho is one of them. That is where we are.
That's what I think you got to understand it, too, is like we were talking a lot about the fiscal benefits of legalizing marijuana, okay? Like, here's where I'm at with it. just politically. And we'll talk about, okay, I understand that there's side effects to this, but we drink every day, okay? Like, stop. So Arizona passed measures in 2022, and I think Ohio just fucking passed to make weed consumption for recreational purposes legal, and has collected more than $284 million of tax revenue since legalization. And that's the thing too, is like collectively, we're in the billions here, like over $3.5 billion collectively has been made taxable income off of the legalization of marijuana. And that can go to school programs and wages for teachers and new roads. And what the fuck are toll roads? Why am I paying for a road I gotta pay for and I pay taxes? Paying. No, it just is better for your community. It's pouring all this money back into the community. I don't understand. I do.
It's because people are conservative and
people are conservative because the stigma comes with weed. Like, you're
stoner
lazy,
loser that's not like doesn't function in society.
We were fucking talking about this. Okay, riddle me this. I used to be a bus driver. Okay, beep beep. And I loved driving kids to the school. And the thing that drives me crazy is that I couldn't have smoked a joint the night before I went to bed, but I could have got loaded. You know what I mean? As long as I had like 6
amount of hours in between
separating my shift, it didn't fucking matter. So tell me how that make sense to me.
It's America.
This is America.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's a stigma because alcohol is so accepted.
Yeah.
You can go to brunch, have mimosas, that's accepted. And I'm talking about somebody who drinks, aka me, that's accepted, but smoking weed is not in certain states. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not.
There's definitely a stigma for, like, we even talked about
and Idaho is going to be the last state that approves it.
The same thing.
The last state. That's like, it's going to be, I don't even know if they will unless something changes. You know what I mean? If you get like a Democrat governor, that's not going to happen.
Until it's federally legalized. We'll be the last state to do it until it's.
Which there's a lot of things that I like about here, but that's one that's just stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One of
a lot.
Of a lot.
But what they don't understand also when you're talking about like the fiscal aspect of it is like, you know, you always hear like the war on drugs and everything, and a lot of that's based around harder drugs, but a lot of it's based around like the cartels and stuff bringing marijuana in, and you're like, when you really look at it,
yeah. No, keep going.
They're bringing weed and stuff in, and at a certain point, that's where a lot of this is coming in from the streets. Is like, you may not be buying direct cartel weed, but somebody you know is, or that's buying true. It from somebody that's is
a good point.
Bringing it in illegally. And so, if you think about it, one of the ways to end that in the war on drugs and what you're trying to do so hard about, don't fight it in a way that you could legalize it and control it. That's the same thing that you're trying to do right now, but you're taking the wrong approach to something you could legalize that wouldn't have the same effects as, like, you know, decriminalizing hard drugs that some states and other countries have. Like, you don't have to take that hard of approach, but like, let's at least drop the weed.
The crazy thing is that pumps enough money back into the community for education and for you know, rehabilitation as well.
Show that it's going for the right things and the right reasons, and maybe people get a tax break or something.
Just
like, show the right reasons, like, hey, you don't have to pay as much into the schools or whatever on these levies if you just legalize weed. Like, just
lift up the rock. It's under the rock. Just lift it up. Just lift up the rock. That's
and Idaho is a state that a lot of people don't understand this, but the income they would make if they legalized weed, it would be a large number, and I think a lot of people
you already have it in Oregon. People are just driving to Ontario, Oregon, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, we're just dumping money into their economy. That's what Idaho. That's what doesn't make sense about Idaho, because they watch it and they know it's happening. Because you've got to see.
They're pissed, but they're not going to do anything about it. There's no way these people will approve.
No, I'll just pull them over when they come back across.
I actually haven't been doing that. I
haven't to meet their fucking quota. Yeah.
But yeah. So, when did you start? When's?
And you're not even high.
And this is when it's my bedtime.
Wow.
When did you first smoke weed?
When I was 16.
And where were you? Like, tell us the first
I was
experience.
at my parents' house. They were out of town.
Oh, confessional
Yeah.
Monday.
So
I mean, Sunday.
Me and my sister had a couple of friends over, and one of the guys brought weed. So
you tried it?
Yeah.
Peer pressure?
Did you get high the first time?
yeah, that was
Yeah.
the first time, and it was.
Yeah, it's like a halfway. Sometimes you get high and sometimes you
Yeah.
I
don't.
definitely did though.
I was
yeah.
like
I
halfway.
was super
I'd
stoned.
say. I was 18. Shocker. Didn't do anything bad when I was young. Bad. That was in quotes. And I was with two friends that were a couple years older than me, so they had the weed and smoked it in a car, like in a neighborhood. And then
Was
all I
not mine,
remember is
officer.
I thought the cops were gonna get us. You know, it sounds like I might
your
be
dad.
paranoid schizo with all these. Yeah, my dad. And so then we got McDonald's at the end, and then they dropped me off at my parents' house. But the story I would like to tell is I was, everything was so cool, hotboxing in the car, like with friends in a neighborhood. We drove away they picked me up. We go away from my neighborhood, just across the street to the other neighborhood, and we're smoking and everything. And I'm so high. I get dropped off, and right when I walk in, my dad goes, "Valerie, come get your sister." And I was like, oh no, because I was so high. And my dad, I don't know if I said, my dad smoked weed for a lot of years. So it's like, how did he not notice? You know what I mean? And I confessed this to them, and they were like, what? And so my sister had fell asleep. She's 10 years younger than me. So I'm 18. She's like 8. She had fell asleep in the room. So there you go. Come get your sister, put her to bed, because we shared a room. And I was like, okay. And I was like taking her to bed. And I'm just like, let's go. And he didn't notice. I don't know if he just didn't care or never thought I would do that. I don't know. But that was scary. I thought I was going to get caught. But again, I was over 18.
Yeah.
So there was like nothing I could get grounded. I don't know. But that's a memory I'll never forget. Come on, little Rachel.
Time for bed.
Oh, that's it.
Time to go to
What's
bed.
that smell?
I know. I was so worried. I was just like, yeah.
I farted. Go.
What about you?
I was 13.
That's where
I was 13. A friend of mine, of a friend, and yeah, we went over to. She had a cool mom. She had a fun mom, and she knew exactly where her mom's bud was, and we fucking smoked out of the head of a hose. It was the fucking like the cone shape. We fucking cut a hole in the screen, used the screen, put the weed on top, and smoked it like that, and fucking burned the brass down our fucking esophaguses. And yeah, I remember getting fucking pretty blitzed. That I didn't get really high. I got high, but I didn't get fucking high. I kept hanging out with her though.
Yeah,
And I remember the one time I got real fucking high. She took me to a party, and it was like in the middle of the fucking day at this
at
apartment
13.
No, I think I was like 14 at this point.
Oh,
14
okay.
or 15 for sure. I was still pretty young. And we were at this little daytime party. It was very weird. The front door was kind of just open and people were going in and out. And I get to this back room and they're passing 2 bongs simultaneously. And then it gets to me and the guy next to me. And we were like, oh shit. Because we got hit back to back. And I died. Like I took a fucking fat rip. Was choking, couldn't cough. Finally caught my breath. Took the second hit and it was lights out. And I literally was so high, and I get so sleepy when I'm high. You know me. I'm such a sleepy panda. I'm such just a bear. And I was looking for a place to sleep. Dude, I was like, I need to find a place to sleep. And I found a bag of C's chocolate candy, caramel candy. So I grabbed those. And there was a sleeping bag, dude.
Yeah.
And some people were laying out in the front they had like a, it was like an apartment. It had like a little foyer there, or just not foyer, but like a open blades of grass. And people were just chilling out. It was a really nice day. And I remember I curled in this sleeping bag in the front yard, and I was eating my fucking candies, dude. Just drifted into the abyss. I was so high. This fucking kid comes by, and his mom, and she goes, "Go get mommy a little candy. go see that like girl's candies cookie. Like, but I was locked in my body. I was landlocked. Like I couldn't get out of this comatose and move my body. But I heard the kid come all the way up and get the whole bag of candy, and he took the whole fucking bag of candy. Took the whole bag, and she goes, "No, I meant just wanted." He's like sneaking away, and I'm like locked in my body. What I would have given to go back to that moment and just been like,
just scared the shit.
Fucking. My candies. My candies.
The fact that that's what you think about what you could change. We'll go back to that
I could go back and change the world, but that's the spot we're going back to is that fucking memory. And
Scared
then
the
I
shit out of
passed
that
the fuck
kid.
out, dude. I passed the fuck out till nighttime. She had to come get me. And she woke me up and I was like, what? She's like, bro, it's nighttime. Like, you've been out here sleeping, dude. That's how you know you're in a safe community. Thank you so much for that. I really do. Let's play gratitude to that.
Thank you for not
It's a
kidnapping
super-
Amanda.
so many times where I
So many
should have
times,
or
yeah.
died. Yeah. Kidding me? And so, yeah, woke up and like fucking went got something to eat, drove home because I was spending the night at her house anyways.
Yeah.
It was a vibe, dude. It was so great. But yeah, I was very young, and I've been smoking for like 2 decades. I clocked some time for sure. And I
That's
definitely, I love smoking weed, man. Like, can we talk about our experiences smoking weed? Like, what's your favorite type of way to ingest weed?
My absolute all-time favorite is dabs.
Dabs.
Yeah,
bro.
you turn into a fucking zombie.
I'm not allowed to do dabs.
dabs.
But
They're
no,
not
there was
good for you.
there
really.
wasn't over time that I did dabs. Like,
That was bad.
I was running around with my brother a lot at this point, and he had a connect and guy he coyote hunted a lot with, and they'd go coyote hunt in Nevada, and they had a connect, and we'd get my brother'd knock on the door, and he'd walk in, and he'd be like, "Pizza's here," and it'd be an entire pizza box of dab, and so we'd just.
Oh my god, dude.
I don't even know how much it weighed, but
Oh my god.
that's what we'd have.
dude.
That's what they'd bring back, and we'd have it just on the table over there.
Yeah,
and
great
Chip away
memories,
at it.
huh?
Just chip away
We're
at
Great
we just-
memories
we
that I
took-
Oh my
remember.
God.
gram dabs, and I mean it loaded up to be a bad time, but there were some good memories there
Dude.
for a little bit.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying that's impressive. That's crazy. I from a bitch who used to smoke spice, dude. Okay.
That's basically like the
It
trend
was-
that it
And, like,
was. It was
you know
like
what's so
spice and
crazy.
then
It's like I was
dabs.
like, you guys ever smoke spice? In the group that I was with, I can't remember, and they were like, spice? That shit was meth. I was like, no, it wasn't. Like we smoked so much spice. It was crazy.
That's probably what's
That's
wrong.
something I've actually never done.
I smoked spice and that shit made me trip. I'd be like,
We
did you
rocked
see that?
people's worlds.
It
with
was.
spice, for
It
sure.
really was bad news. I
Because my
never
ex
did
was
it after that.
military, so he couldn't smoke. Like,
Yeah.
so we would do that.
Let's
Absolutely.
do spice. Yeah,
We
no,
would
it's
take
stupid. I
fucking
never will.
Double gravity bongs, bro. Like, oh my god.
Not good. That's kind of where I feel like I ventured off of
Yeah.
that life.
Real uncool.
It just wasn't. I just didn't like how it was. I don't know. So I've done something you haven't done.
You're so naughty.
Wow.
Little
That's
slut.
No.
I don't know. I just don't think I've ever had any interest to
Well,
smoke spice.
Spice
Yeah.
was around before you were born.
Not
basically.
before I was born.
You were like in elementary school. So
When you were a
but
child.
literally, like you were in
Came out in
elementary school when
1801.
Spice was out.
Yeah, I definitely, and then kind of grew from there. My love from drugs, absolutely. And so did my love for alcohol and sex. So, I mean, can we all put it on marijuana, really? But let's talk about,
We don't say marijuana.
let's talk about why we don't say marijuana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Val, why don't we?
Because it's almost like I don't know the right word, but it's because it's from the Spanish descent, and marijuana was like a negative word about it. So
yeah,
we
the word
don't-
marijuana hadn't
Yeah.
been used a lot before them, and everybody
Mhm.
used cannabis, kind of like how we do now in the dispensaries or flower or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
flower. That's one.
Yeah, and, like cannabis is like the scientific name for it. But in the 1910s and 20s, the word marijuana became associated with Mexicans
Yeah.
who were stereotyped as the people who frequently used cannabis. And the U.S. government used it as, an anti-cannabis propaganda, calling it marijuana. And yeah, basically pitting it on Mexican immigrants.
Mm.
And they go on to say like this anti-cannabis propaganda spread a great deal of myths around cannabis and perpetuated racist stereotypes.
Ooh. Sounds like Amanda was a part of that.
Oh my god.
At least for the people of China.
Fuck. Because it's tied to racist and anti-cannabis propaganda, marijuana is a word that many people in the industry are no longer using and just prefer to go with cannabis.
So Mary Jane is the white way to say marijuana.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's just crazy too, because like at that time too, cannabis was a legal cross-border import. So like they were allowing it in. That's what is crazy to me. It's like many Mexicans were immigrating to the United States during the early 20th century, but because of the Mexican Revolution, but like they were allowing the import in. Like, what do you?
Well, weed has a crazy history. If you really look into why it's illegal, it's a really crazy history to why the United States.
It's like alcohol, where they approve it, they don't. They ban it.
That's what happened. Is they banned it during the Prohibition,
and they've never taken until recently the stigma off of it. Until honestly, real recently.
What is the stigma?
Even with Colorado being the first, the first state to do it.
People are actually safer driving a vehicle like high, not from like other drugs, but weed specifically compared to alcohol.
The majority of stoned people out there that are, smoking and then driving, you wouldn't know. There's a high percentage that you'll have no idea. But drinking and driving, how many people have you followed that you think were drinking and driving because they're driving made no sense?
Don't
and you're
tell me that having a beer or having 2 beers with dinner with my friends isn't the same as smoking half a J or smoking a J. Over a 2-hour increment period. It maths to me. Like, girl math. But like to me,
no, it's true.
I can smoke 1 J while you can pound 2 or 3 beers and drive home, and I'm gonna kick it over a meal over 2 hours. I'm good, dude. I'm gonna smoke. Like, that's crazy to me.
Well, and I've like done both, and you're way more apparent. Like for me, you're way more aware of what's going on, and you're just like, oh my god, am I going the speed limit? Yeah, I am. Right. Like
I'm going under the speed limit.
You're going under. You're going slower. You're not driving fast. Like it's not anything risky to me. Sure. Like when people drink, they get fucking risky.
They really do.
Yeah.
They do. Because they're in of course it's going to affect and that's like a negative side effect of weed and any other drug and inhibitor.
Will you be able to react as fast?
Don't
Probably
operate
not.
heavy machinery, right? If you choose to use, you have to choose how to get your ass home and how to drink responsibly and be smoking responsibly, using responsibly. It's the same fucking rules. And you, again, dump the money that you're making back into the education on this drug because it is a drug. And the youth too, it is addictive. That's what a lot of these stats were saying, where 1 in 6 young adults gets addicted, and that's ages 18 and under. And so it's highly addictive when you're young. And then it goes to 1 in 10 adults are addicted to marijuana. So for those numbers, it's like, okay, we need to just educate our kids about how it is to smoke weed and talk about it, introduce it just like we would alcohol when they're 21, and we fucking go from there, dude.
Well, and just pick what age you think it's appropriate, and do your research, because I know there are some statistics that say, it has effect on brain development and stuff like that at the younger age. So just be smart as a parent. If your kid does show interest into it, just tell them, hey, I don't know, but maybe
same thing with whippets, same thing with snorting coke, same thing with taking Molly. Like,
it's the same thing as
we
all
gotta talk about
this. Because I think you can use all of those in a safe manner. I've never done whippets. That's one I've never been interested in either. But
fuck, dude, just taking brain cells. Pull.
I enjoy.
Do you remember going to those fucking parties, those whippet parties, dude?
And there's just cartridges just
fucking covering the floor, dude.
I don't know how some of those people are still alive, honestly, that I watched do it.
They're a shell of themselves, I will tell you. Like, they're checked the fuck out of this consciousness, which is like not a bad idea, but not that route. I'd get there through meditation, through whippets. Like, no.
Yeah, not whippets. No.
Dude, whippets.
People are like not the same after that.
They're not the same.
Hey, but how do you know you're too young if you haven't done knife hits, though?
I've done knife hits.
Oh, so
she doesn't know what a knife hit is.
She's too young for you, bro. Oh, those are some good memories.
Knife hits, bro.
In Ontario, Oregon, do a knife hit.
Knife hits.
The stove.
Oh my god, dude.
If you don't know what a knife hit is, let us know.
What's a knife hit?
I don't know. You put it on a knife and heat it up on the stove.
What on a knife?
The weed.
The weed.
And then light it on the stove.
So what you do is like, because you know when you get like towards the bottom of your stash and you start getting grimy with it, it's so interesting. You get a new fucking bag of bud and then you're like so liberal with your shit. You're like, fuck it. And then towards the end,
everyone wants your. It was a party.
Like you're like,
every
shit,
time I did it was a party though.
I gotta scrape.
Yeah.
And so
the
what
resin,
we would do,
the resin.
yeah,
That's what it is.
So you would wedge the butter knives in the stove, and the coils would heat it up, and then you put a resin like a tacky resin dab,
resin ball,
and then you'd fucking fry it, and then you'd suck it through either like a cut off, coke top, or just fucking a filler or whatever, a funnel.
I don't remember what I smoked it off the knife hit.
Or you smoke it up.
Yeah, so
terrible.
But that was at parties, and so everyone wanted to do it. So they didn't want to use all their weed, you know. So it was like the resin hits was a big thing.
I always love to smoke. Smoking is my favorite. I hate that it's so stinky. I really do, but I love J's. I love good rolled J's. I'll always smoke a J. I remember in college was like the first time I bought my little green piece called Elixir.
Oh my gosh.
My friend helped me named it. And named Matt we made name it, and I had my own little bag of weed, and I was so special.
Cute.
And I would smoke it like before bed.
I
after
never
I got
had
everything
my own
done.
bag.
I always had my own. I
Never,
felt like such a fucking badass dude. Like I did. I felt cool.
It always felt good
Felt
the first
fucking cool to
time
be like,
that
"Hey,
you
you
like
wanna
had
smoke
your
my
that you
weed?"
had your own shit and like your own pipe
and
or your
if
own
you
bong or
don't
whatever,
offer
like,
somebody to have a puff,
oh, rule 101,
Rule
if you're
101.
smoking weed in front of somebody, you always offer. Like, and if you don't have enough to share, you shouldn't be smoking
you
in
a
front of
cop?
other people.
No, you are not.
whatever, you would never say that.
Are you a
But
cop?
something I am jealous of is because I feel like if I haven't smoked in years, but the whole oil pens, like
This is my go-to, the cartridge pens,
I had that back then, that is so me.
Yeah.
That is so me. Because I would complain about the harshness, like from smoking weed, like out of a piece.
100%.
Wow, I'm so educated. It almost sounds like I used to smoke back in the day.
Oh, fucking Stoner City, bro. Stoner City. More this way. So you have fucking knife hits, dabs, joints, vapes, waxes, edibles, tinctures. Oh my god, fucking tinctures, bro. Oh my god.
Certain, like, I think it's called RSO oils or whatever. You might have to check me on that.
Yeah.
Those are supposed to just absolutely.
Oh,
they were created medicinally, but they're a super, super strong oil that you can use recreationally too.
Yeah. And there's just so yummy syrups. I remember when one of my friends was a clipper, right? A harvester. And he took a huge vat of all the clippings that he had saved and mixed it with a huge gallon thing of extra virgin coconut oil and let it simmer for like 2 days and gave me a whole fucking vat of this like infused THC extra virgin or organic whatever fucking oil. What am I saying?
Coconut oil? Okay.
And I used it in everything, dude. I used it to bake.
I remember that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we used that
I used
for
it
like
all
everything.
over my body. I would swish with it, bro. I'd use
but that's what people are doing is cooking with weed now. Like with the oil, they are making pastas. I mean, they're making it like a full thing.
Fucking the light leaves off of it too can dollop for a cute little strawberry salad.
There's a restaurant, I can't remember what states it's in, one of the legalized states, obviously, but it's a restaurant that does a 5-course meal that's all infused.
That's my favorite. I wanted
start to finish. It's
open up a rooftop bar based off that show, and where they would pair it with weed infused drinks, those creative drinks. It's such a good idea. It had a bunch of good reviews when I looked the place up, and that's one of my dreams for sure. Oh, I would love that. The whole experience, right? That would be really nice.
You would love that because food and weed.
Food and weed.
And it's,
Is
yeah,
that
If someone
weed?
goes down on
Is
me
it
under this
herb?
table, this is the perfect goddamn
This is-
trifecta
this
I've
is
ever
the
had.
place.
Is this weed gluten free?
His kids, can we make those? Oh, it is? Yes, my guy,
Perfect.
my guy. It's weed crusted. I could have it. It's not even bread.
Have you ever heard of a weed pizza?
A weed
That's what Amanda
infused?
eats now.
Oh, God. Yes, please.
I bet it could make that.
Oh, we can make it happen. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Today's technology can make
Yeah.
anything happen. Okay.
You can
I
make a
am not
3D
worried.
pizza.
We can make. Stop.
I was thinking like at the library, you know?
3D pizza.
Oh, I'm kind of
Uh,
funny.
Anyways, all this to say, guys.
Weed,
we
not
fucking-
marijuana.
Not marijuana.
Yeah.
Weed.
So stop
Kush.
saying that.
Stop saying it. Because we're woke now.
Yeah. Don't say we're
not
woke.
Sorry,
You're
we're not woke.
woke.
I'm not woke. Am I woke?
I don't know.
Wake up! Why'd you put a little makeup? Why'd you put the kids up on the table? You wanted to. Come in on that, Kaylee. You gotta come in on that, Kaylee.
I played the drums.
Sorry.
Anyways.
Oh my god, probably doesn't know that song.
Oh, man.
Just kidding.
You know, I did find. Well, do you know any, like, what's an interesting fact about weed? I don't know. Do you know any interesting facts about weed?
That only female weed plants get you high.
Yeah. Only the females give the flower.
Shocker.
Give the bud.
Flower
And
that
you
gets you high.
gotta, if the Hermes, which are both male and female, and males pop up next to those female, they fucking gay. These fucking male plants be horny dudes. You gotta immediately remove them in the Hermes. And then the female flower. So like you can buy exclusively female seeds.
But how do you know which one's which?
You have to grow them, they have to bud. And then
Once
all
they
look
bud,
different?
and
they'll
when once they bud, you'll see, okay, this one's female, this one's
Oh.
we have to
Interesting. I feel like I learned that on that one show that got canceled that we all loved. That weed show that it was like
weedology.
on
Yeah, I know what you're talking
on
about.
Netflix.
yes, and it got
I remember
canceled.
that weed cooking show too.
That,
So
I was just gonna tell you that one was my
yummy, dude.
favorite.
That's
but
what
no,
inspired me
the,
from the rooftop. Yeah,
the Netflix show was
I
really
thought it
good.
was
Yeah.
a cute show,
It was
and
really
they
good. It was about a
canceled
family
it.
dispensary, and
Yeah,
it was.
I wonder why they canceled it.
I can't remember. First, we thought it was because it was weed and people aren't about it.
Yeah, but no,
But
they
it
canceled it
wasn't.
for another
Just
reason.
not
But it
enough,
was disjointed.
Disjointed. Yeah, there wasn't enough viewers or
Disjointed.
something. I think.
Wow,
I think that's what it was called. Let me look it
interesting.
up. I'll make sure. It
Find
was
out
that.
why it was canceled. Anyways, but
What's your interesting fact about weed?
I don't know. I mean, I think Kayla touched on it, is how it helps people with ADHD is kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And I do think that it's good for a lot of people. This is my own opinion about weed, not a fact about or interesting, but I think,
What are you do with these thoughts and opinions?
no, I just think that
facts and
it
opinions.
can cause some people anxiety, but some people it cures their anxiety in those
Yeah.
moments. So it's like 50-50 chance is kind of how I
And that's
see
the
it.
thing too, like CBD specifically,
Mhm.
which is different.
Yeah.
But like that is literally an antidepressant, just more natural. Like that's
Mhm.
exactly what it is. That is what it is.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's prescribed in that manner to help with PTSD and anxiety and depression. And it's crazy that like from a beautiful plant, it's crazy. The hurdles.
And it can make clothes and we're not
Yeah.
using it.
They say we have cannabinoid receptors or whatever in our bodies. That's why
We're
THC
meant
gets
to
us
be
high so
fucking
easily.
dude. We're meant to be a tango. This is not even, I think that's interesting. I would say my interesting fact is the Waldos. So why the 420 is named 420.
Oh, yeah.
Those 5
Mhm.
kids out of California who would meet after school 420 on the wall. So they called themselves the Waldos. And they just would meet every fucking 420 every day. It was kind of like the code to smoke. But then that somehow got published in a magazine. And then it blew up from there. Now we fucking celebrated on
420.
what the
That's
fuck?
crazy,
Like,
yeah.
boom, marketing. Like, just poof.
Van's
And what
logo
year was
means
that
420.
when they did that?
Oh my God, that's a great question. I don't even
Are those
fucking-
people still
in the
alive?
1970s is approximately when that fucking term took off.
Okay.
It'd be interesting if they're still alive. I'm sure
Yeah.
they smoking down, dude. The founders of 420, they're gonna live forever.
30 plus 20 something.
You're the
They're probably in their 70s.
times 3.
Yeah, sure, it's
Yeah.
to
not
the third
Cheech and
power.
Chong.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Thanks for joining us for.
Damn.
No.
Yeah. Well, okay. Absolutely. Real Talk Sunday. We're going to end on Real Talk Sundays. Weed is addictive. Don't smoke before you're 18.
Yeah, it could ruin your brain.
Your brain health too can cause permanent IQ loss of as much as 8 points if you smoke it.
Yeah.
And these IQ points don't come back. Okay.
That's scary.
Like before 18.
Same thing with alcohol though. It takes away
using
things.
it as a young age.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Athletic performance.
Yeah, don't do that before you play sports.
It's gonna slow you down.
Help you, dude.
But you wouldn't chug a beer before you go run a track meet.
Exactly.
Don't fucking smoke a J before you go. Fuck you guys. Come on, just use
Your muscle
responsibly.
twitch won't be going.
Don't drive under the influence of this. Don't smoke while you're pregnant. Allegedly, supposedly. Okay. Like, no studies can actually link that. But
that is not
that's not even a
provable.
thing. And then daily life, just using responsibly, guys, especially and fiscally responsibly, right? So you got a budget for it, just like you would go and get a case of beer. So here we are. But it's better for you, but also all the other benefits.
Pay your bills before you buy.
So when you
some.
really look at how your opinion around marijuana has formed, and if you're one of those people that's like, oh, marijuana, just is really into that stigma, I would ask ourselves why. Why do we feel that way? Where did that come from? Where was that a parent thing? Was that inherited? Did I learn something? I mean, because it's fine to smoke it. Like, I don't drink really. Like, I do socially, but like I don't drink beer. But like, I understand other people that do. So same thing I would feel with the respect for smoking is like, don't have that. Just because I smoke instead of drinking a glass of wine doesn't make me a lesser mom.
Yeah.
Just because I smoke, after I get off of work instead of have a couple beers doesn't make me a lesser coworker. Like,
I think it's just being open-minded because, like you were saying, it doesn't make you lesser than. And if you think people are losers because they smoke, no, they're probably just a loser. It's not the weed that's making them a loser.
Yeah,
probably contributing them have no motivation, but it just means they don't have any motivation.
Money and recreational drugs are gonna magnify what you already are. So if you're a lazy piece of shit, then you're gonna be a magnified lazy piece of shit. You get a lot of money, you're gonna be making money, a lazy piece of shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, be responsible and don't do it on company time. Like
shit, man.
Just do it responsibly. Like
integrity.
Yeah, like it's not super hard. You can be an everyday stoner and still do it.
Well, I just think like people that work at dispensaries don't think they're allowed to smoke, even though they work at a dispensary.
There are rules that they're not supposed to. I don't know how many follow it, but like
that's what I'm saying. And
for sure.
There's rules out there.
So I mean, if
follow the rules.
If your company says that stay sober at work, just you don't drink beer at work, so don't smoke.
Some people
your pen.
do.
Yeah, but I mean, don't smoke your pen or don't smoke your bowl or whatever. Just be respectful of.
Don't be a fucking douche. Like, oh my God, let's be adults here.
Doesn't mean you can't come home and fucking load a bowl or smoke your pen or smoke a J, whatever your touch
Kick
is.
Up. Like, I don't
light
understand. So excuse me. Sorry. So for this episode, thank you for joining us about everything that we kind of fucking know. There's probably a bunch of other shit that we were like, oh yeah, that too. Like,
I don't think people know that hemp can make clothes.
Yeah.
I think that was a good fact.
Things.
Good fun fact.
Yeah. And I really have a lot of, it's the first Mary I ever fell in love with. And I really love weed. I love responsible use of weed. I love weed and everything. Love what it does for people. I love that it has instant camaraderie worldwide, dude.
Yeah.
You fuck around with 420, like we have this instant, like, okay, cool people. Like we smoke down. It's just, it's an instant warm hug. And I really love it. I wish we could all smoke it together.
Met a lot of cool people smoking weed.
So many cool people, right? Put me in a room with a bunch of stoners over alkies any day, dude. Like smoking out versus shot for shot. No, no J for J though. Let's go, dude. What are we gonna do? Fall asleep on each other?
Yeah.
Ooh, better than fucking. Like, and then vomiting. Like, this is way better. And then you just eat everything. It's just the best. But yeah, and of course, when you ingest the vape, dude, the smoke, like your throat is at risk, right? Just high risk.
When your lungs, like anytime you're putting anything into your body like that, we get that, we understand that, but I think it's a lot safer than a lot of options out there, cigarettes and nicotine vapes, and
I totally agree. God bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just really love weed. Let's take a moment of gratitude for marijuana.
I'm meditating.
meditating.
That was lovely.
Love weed.
Thank you guys. We love weed. Okay. And yeah, do your research. This episode's song is called A Vibe by Protege featuring Wiz Khalifa. Enjoy by clicking in our bio and give it a listen.